Shalom. Kol Holo Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahusha Ba'ashum Rakach Wadash. The bonds of the Basils, the bonds of the elders, at Great Millstone who rule well. It's all in this truth. Much respect to you brothers out there. As preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. The tabernacle of David is being risen up right before your very eyes. The hopeful elect. And the speckled bird, to you I say shalom. Let's get into this lesson, right? I may entitle this lesson, signs of the times, as I've been doing in my past lessons as well. Signs of the times and more reasons why. Or it's June, all right? Because we got another, as you see right here, Slakia. As you see right here, which I'll read it real quick. It reads, become superhuman or get left behind. Millions of Chinese line up to become cyborgs as CCP launches Neo Brain C-Hips, right? These are the times that we in. But before I get into that, I want to get into these real quick. Keeps on doing it, right? As you see with these data centers, as the elders went into it, this is part of the fourth industrial revolution. This is part of, you call them data centers. Really, they're surveillance centers, right? And it reads right here, Project Blue Data Center use over 500,000 gallons of drought-stricken Tuscan water in 1 month. What the scriptures say, man? What the scriptures say? Let's get this one real quick. Right, Exodus 17 and verse 16. For he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek. Who's Amalek? The chief tribe of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the big noses, the small hats, right? They are the chief tribe of Esau, Edom, right? The Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And this is part of that war. This man is at war with Yasharallah, with Yahweh Shem Shai, right? And with the whole planet itself. His technology is against the whole planet itself, right? As we'll get in Matthew 24, verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be, right? Jacob's trouble. That time is coming. Right? And within Jacob's trouble, you're going to have the famine of the word, right? That's the ultimate famine, right? But also you're going to have a famine of water and food. It's going to be ugly out here. And with these data centers drinking up all the water, right? Drinking up all these rivers, right? Using to cool them or however they got their mechanism set up, right? For their computers, right? And I watched a video of a guy on YouTube named Tommy G. He did a overview on these data centers and what they're doing. Yeah, we got to get the heck up out of here, right? These data centers drinking up all the water. And if they do reuse the water is coming out polluted, right? So, yeah, we got to get the heck up out of here. Verse 22, as it reads, except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, right? For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. If this man was left to rule, no flesh shall be saved. As we read in this, right? According to the report from Yahoo News, Slovakia, a 3.6 billion data center project in Tuscan, Arizona, has ignited sharp criticism for its heavy consumption of public water amid ongoing drought conditions in the Southwest. You see, right? You have Arizona over there. You know, I personally haven't been. I do have some family over there, but I just personally haven't been. You know, maybe one day, maybe not. All right. It's all through the spirit. But, you know, from what I hear and, you know, the people I talk to, you know, it's very hot and it's a desert. And so you have this data center pretty much drinking up all their water, right? Yeah, we got to get the heck up out of here. The Party of Socialism and Liberation, right, in Tuscan, highlighted, issue a recent social media post pointing out the Project Blue data center campus used more than 500,000 gallons of water in a single month. By comparison, typical local households remain under 10,000 gallons during the same period of severe water restrictions. And, you know, if you ever watch that video from Tommy G, right? There, with the data centers, they don't have to pay as much for their water bill. And what's happening, the people's taxes are rising and the people utility bills are rising, right? So it's that squeeze, man. The data centers, you can say they're not in trouble as other men. You know, this is all planned, as we'll get in the other article about Moab, you know, with his MOTB. This is all geared up for the MOTB, right? So let's go ahead and get some other articles real quick. See if there was any more. I believe there's another one I wanted to get, right? We got that right here, right? China beats Elon Musk to launch world's first commercial brain C-hip. You see that? Chinese authority have greenlit the world's first commercial viable brain C-hip computer interface implant, marking a significant milestone in neurotechnology. You see? What did Bishop say? And Bishop Nate say? Ain't no microchips. It's June. Ain't no mic. Hey, it's right here. And what Babylon the Great is doing is being geared up for this to be globally here in Babylon the Great. Right? The coin-sized device known as a NEO has successfully completed clinical trials and is poised for mass production within China's state-run health system, positioning the country ahead of Elon Musk's Neuralink and bringing such technology patients, right? Let's see. America's crude inventories, right? Is another one, right? This is that squeeze, man. U.S. commercial crude oil inventories have dropped to some of the lowest level in years, raising alarms about the national energy buffer as conflict with Iran stretches into the fourth month with no clear end in sight. You see? So, yeah, that famine, you know, this man is just a cruel ruler, man. You know, this is all geared up for the MOTB, right? Because I sent it in the group chat because they're also coming for people's cars, right? Which I have to watch the video. You know, a lot of these older cars don't have all that technology in it. Most definitely. A lot of these older cars don't have that technology in it. And so what they want, the video that I watch, right? They want you to get this device so it can monitor your speed, and if you're viable to drive a car, that ultimate control, that ultimate surveillance. Brothers also sent that in the group chat. What's coming to Nashville, Tennessee, ultimate surveillance, which that's going to be here around the world, and Babylon the Great, especially in general, right? So we getting closer and closer to being out of this mug, as you see right here. Israel bombs Beirut following an attack from Iran. Wars, rumors of wars, as it says right here. Wars, rumors of wars, right? Iran fires missiles at Israel for the first time since the ceasefire, right? Wow. The people is through, man. This wasn't even planned. The people is through. Thousands march in Jerusalem. Annual, parade, right? Hey, this one wasn't even planned, man. The people is through, man. The people is through. Let me go ahead and get some scriptures. I'm gonna get into the main article, right? Zechariah 9 and verse 6. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Get an NLT, right? Foreigners will occupy the city of Ashdod. I would destroy the pride of the Philistines, right? Because you have these damn Edomites, right? Mainly the chief tribe of Esau, Edom, occupying our land, right? Polluting our land, right? With their abominable acts, right? So another reason why we got to get the heck up out of here. Our land is going to be cleansed. They proclaiming that they are the people of the Lord, but their ways are contrary to the Lord. So getting back to this, become superhuman or get left behind. Starting with our apostles and elders and brothers on down, we've been telling you at the times. We've been telling you this is coming, right? If you don't get this thing, you're going to be ostracized. But the elect is going to trust and believe in Yahweh Shemel Shah. Right, let's see if there's any more on this. Right, the Chinese Communist Party has officially kicked off the age of cyborg, while Elon Musk Neuralink continues navigating regulatory hurdles in the U.S. Eventually, it's going to be made mandatory. That's why we're seeing these data centers. That's why we're seeing the oil, and also rules regulating cars, These are the times that we in, and if you ain't got the eyes to see it, you done, right? You're going to end up taking this thing or believing in Bishop Nate and some of these other camps with their wayward breakdowns of the scriptures. China has surged ahead in the launch of Neo, the world's first commercial approved brain computer interface, right? According to reports flooding in from China, millions of citizens are already queuing up to get wired directly into the beast. They already saying it, into the beast system, right? How is it that these people of the world know what the beast system, but you niggas that are in the house of Israel, you don't know what it is. You either paid off or you just done. Either way, you paid off or just done. You done, right? Officially, version 1 is a coin-sized neo plant implant, you see? Developed by Shanghai-based neural technology in a partnership with Tanji, however you say that, university researchers, and designed to enhance the nervous system of patients suffering from spinal cord injuries. The scriptures speak of, right? Signs and wonders, those signs and wonders, but the elect ain't the elect ain't with it, man. Right? And paralysis, right? It sits on top of the brain protective membrane, the dural matter, using 8 sensors to read signals and help restore his hand and arm function, allowing users to control robotic gloves or external devices through thought alone. Clinical trials reportedly showed promising results with dozens of patients, right? But let's be real. When the CCCP ever stopped at helping the disabled? Real agenda, total mind machine integration, you see? And ultimately, ultimate control, right? They're gonna know your thoughts, know what you're doing, and you speak up against these people. Your government allowance check is gone. Insiders and independent observers warn this is no more mere medical device. Neo represents the first mass marketed gateway into into full human augmentation and stepping stone towards a population of compliant, right? A population of compliant, hyper efficient cyborgs, Borgs, perfectly integrated with the state digital surveillance apparatus, right? So yeah, these are the times that we in. And if you wanna say that it's not the MOTB, well, you're done. You're done. All right. This is Luke 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, right? Us coming out of Rome, right? Fleeing, our people fleeing into Africa, right? And shall be led away captive into all nations, right? Our people is scattered abroad into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? Matter of fact, I'm getting in GNT before I break it down. Some will be killed by the sword, and others will be taken as prisoners into all countries. You see? We're all scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, right? And the heathens will trample over Jerusalem until their time is up. So you have the MOTB, and you have these people, let's get it down here, right? Occupying our homeland. And the Lord says, right? Their time is up. Their time is coming to where their time is up, right? And then we're going to be ruling, right? So this is another cut to you Christians that with that all, Lord's coming back to save everybody doctrine, all nations doctrine, right? The heathens got to be taken out of power as we read Job 14 and verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou is appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, you see? Right? So we are getting closer and closer, right? With this thing being implemented, right? When this man makes it mandatory, that's it. You're done. Shortly after, you're going to be taken out of power. You're not going to be able to enjoy your kingdom, man. All right. So yeah, just a little quick hit. Yahweh desires an edifying lesson. Shalom.